What's the dealio?
There we go. You are live. We are now
Oh
live.
shit. Okay. All right. Well, is it streaming on YouTube though?
That's the thing. So I'm trying to look at that right now.
Okay. So if we stop the stream, will it record? That's the thing. And then
Oh, that
otherwise
is
we're talking. Otherwise we're talking to a bunch of nobodies, and we just wasted like an hour.
that is a very good thing. That's a very
So
good question. I'm
yeah.
actually going to look at it right now.
Okay. Because if it does, that means we could put it on
Oh,
this.
it is.
Okay, but okay. Can it? How do we upload that to YouTube though? Like
No,
on
it
this?
is. It is actually being uploaded right now.
Really?
Yeah. So just pull up your
Oh my god.
pull it up on your
Oh my
phone.
god, it's working. Okay. I'm sorry. All right,
Yes, we're right
okay.
there.
Oh, sorry guys. This is our first time doing this. Okay, if we're still doing live on this thing, give us some slack. Okay. All right, I'm ready now. We're good.
Yeah. Now I'm ready too.
Now I'm
But
ready. Okay, my bad. My bad.
uh, on our actual thing, right? There's 0 people in here, so it's just us two.
That's okay.
Anywho,
No, but it's gonna be recorded after. It's gonna show after on
yes,
YouTube.
it's
So
it's
if this
gonna.
it's sorry to cut you off, but if this is your first time coming on the M&I's podcast, I swear to God, we're more prepared than this. But this is our first time trying it. Give us some slack. We'll figure this out. All right, let's do it.
All right, so 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Ebonize podcast. My name is Mark, and I'm joined by my friend and co-host.
Isaiah, what's up, YouTube? Nice to meet you.
So again, this is our first time streaming. The only reason why we're streaming is, unfortunately, we have come to a crossroad in our life. Some of us has started our new jobs or got offered a job, while others are preparing for a very big medical exam to get licensed. So it is very difficult right now to like edit videos and do the whole thing. So uh, right now, I think what the main move probably is we're going to stream. We're going to actually have a show. And for all those people who are listening on Spotify, hop onto our YouTube channel, subscribe, and you can actually be a part of this show and you can interact with us like live, and we can like talk to you and directly, whether or not we'll have to deal with you or not. Like we just have a discussion and just chill out, just dudes chilling and talking about boxing and MMA,
Oh, bad.
right? So again, if you enjoy this content, please hit that like, comment, and subscribe, and let me pass it over to you, Isaiah, for some of your quick announcements.
All right, guys. I just want to say for the first time, what's going on YouTube? Um, this is actually really cool. I'm actually glad that we're doing this on the basis that there's a section on this show, right, where I give some mental health tips, and we've done at least like how many episodes have we done so far? Has to be at least 30 to 60 around that range. Like so like imagine 60 of those like top 10 top 3 things that I've given out have gone on Spotify. So but now that you can actually see them on YouTube, hopefully they gain more traction and hopefully they help more people. But yeah, so this is our first time doing it on YouTube. I hope you really enjoy our content. And just for future reference, we will be putting this on YouTube um, in this format until we reach a better point within our own personal lives and the dust settles down. It's just life. We're trying to get to a more financially stable and more career focused part of our lives. We're getting there. It's happening, but unfortunately, our sacrifice is time and editing. So thank you for sticking with us. But just to be clear, this will also be recorded on Spotify, and this will also upload on Spotify for continuity's sake. So if you missed any content here, then of course they will be on Spotify as well. And so the mental health tips that I have for you this week actually have a lot to do with sleep because sleep is, from what I learned, very important. And I stopped being a hermit crab and I'm trying to sleep a lot earlier now, and my body is getting sleepy a lot early and I'm waking up a lot earlier. so that I can, actually not kill myself when I'm, getting ready for work. And I'm pretty sure Mark feels the same way. He loves to sleep. But yeah, let me just give you some really good health benefits uh, from this. So this one actually comes from sleepfoundation.org. And healthy sleep patterns have many benefits for health, including improved learning, memory, creativity, and mood, strengthened immune system, easier maintenance of a healthy diet, boosted brain power, improved weight management, and the list goes on and on and on. The important thing, right, is when especially your brain is doing a lot of work throughout the day. Sometimes it needs a break too. And that's the same thing with anything. If you're doing something for an extended amount of time, you have to take a break. Your brain can only focus for a certain amount of time before you need to not think about that thing for a little bit. It's called taking a break. It's super revolutionary. I think we just came up with it like last week. But because of this new technology called taking a break, you get stuff like this: improve weight management, reduce stress, inflammation. You get to think better. So of course, get your sleep in. And of course, there is something having to do with your circadian rhythm. And like people tend to do better at night. People tend to do better in the morning. You can say all that research. Point is, everybody needs a little bit of sleep, around 7 to 8 hours. If you can't, and if you're like me, right? If you're like me and you just like the time where no one is talking to you and you can just do whatever you want, that's like the you time, right? You can play games, you can read a book, you can draw, you can do whatever you need to do to just ease out a little bit. At least six hours, okay? Just don't be like 4 hours, 3 hours on your phone. Just go to sleep. You can see that when you wake up, guaranteed. But again, thank you guys for joining the M&I's podcast on YouTube. I'm super glad that we're able to do this for you, and I hope to see you guys the next time we do this. So, Mark, I'll give you back the mic.
All right, let's hit this because both of us have stuff to do.
I'll bet.
So let's go on with our prediction. So Canelo versus Jermel Charlo. This will be this coming weekend, September 30th. Right. This
Mhm.
will be held at super middleweight at 168. So my question to you is, who do you see winning and how?
This one is a little harder because I think Mayweather did an interview and he did say it best when we're noticing something in Canelo that's a little bit different than when he used to fight. He is relying a lot more on a high guarded forward pressure, which is fine, but it only works to a certain degree. And with someone like Charlo, who has, like, when you look at it, has like a specific style that is very combination focused, right shot placement focused, very good distance management. It's a little more rough to make a prediction, but we'll see. I think for me personally, I think I still have Canelo winning that. um but I do think it's gonna look a lot like his last fight with, was it Ryder, is that his name?
Yes,
I can't.
John Ryder.
John Ryder, where it was like it's not gonna be like a knockout or anything. I think it could possibly be a unanimous decision, but it's gonna be a little bit more rough because I don't know, Canelo, for some reason styles change and his is more like take damage to give damage kind of thing. I don't know if I agree with it. This in his part, this part of his career where he's not like obviously he's not like 39. He's not like ending it, but he is in his 30s. So with a style like that, it's you tend to like shorten that time span. So we'll see. I think I still have Canelo winning on a UD, but very hard shots though. I think he'll probably drop Carlo a few times. What do you think, Mike?
Hey man, from the the exclusive access or whatever that uh, call this Showtime does in terms of like the documentary of like these guys and what they are fighting for. It seems like Jermell Charlo is really honed in into this fight. He's training really hard. But I'll just be honest. I think Canelo's gonna win. I don't just it's not just me, right? Vegas and like the sports book and all these betting websites also agree. Canelo is a negative 400 and Charlo is plus 300. And in terms of how this is going to come out, if you go on the over for 10 rounds, it'd be minus 320. And if you go under the 10 rounds, it's going to be plus 220. So Vegas and other people are betting that this fight will either be stopped in the 10th, 11th, or 12th, or it will hit the decision, which seems to be the main outline here. The Canelo Alvarez by decision would be minus 325, or no, minus 135. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So with that in mind, I just think that Canelo has more experience. He has fought multiple Hall of Famers and multiple champions in multiple different weight classes. Uh, yes, he doesn't look like how he did when he was in his 20s, but he is only 33 years old. So please keep that in mind. I think, again, Canelo is fighting at a weight class that normally isn't expected of a person who is 5'8".
Mm.
Canelo is fighting at 168 pounds, and most of his opponents are not coming at 168 pounds. They're mostly coming in above 168 pounds on the fight, on the night. So, of course, they are bigger than he is, and they have longer reach. So he has to have that high guard to work his way in. However, what Canelo does have is he has that relentless pressure that will tire you out, and his body punches will drain you. And I think that will sap some of the strength or some of the stamina out of Charlo's legs. And I want to say Canelo's going to knock him out in the 11th round.
11th round. Ooh.
Yeah, that's my
Oh, that's
personal opinion.
ooh, that's better. That's more. You know what? You guys don't know. Like Mark is usually like the conservative one in those things. Like he'll say like, oh yeah, a unanimous decision. Like when the whole fight's over, of course, like yeah, that's like more likely to happen than a knockout. Sure, but you know what? He's actually more brave than me in this specific fight. So we'll see. We'll
Because
see.
I think Canelo hears all of this,
Okay.
right? I
He
think
watches he watches our podcast.
I don't think he's just not just our podcast. I think in general the media is saying that Canelo ain't the same dude no more. Right?
Oh,
I
okay.
think I think he has something to prove in this point. Because one, just imagine this, right? Canelo does like wins against Charlo, but the criticism from everyone, maybe not from us, but from everyone else, would be, ah, Canelo is washed because he couldn't knock out a guy who's 2 weight classes below him. You know,
Mhm.
I don't agree with that statement or, or any form of that way because, again, this is high level boxing. Not everything comes by knockout. So,
Mhm. Yeah.
however, I do see that Canelo is training hard for this, and he is going to be honed in trying to make a statement, trying to prove a point. Because we have people, Crawford saying that he could beat Canelo. Let's calm
Mm,
let's calm down a bit.
it's
Let's
really a
calm it down.
slow roll a little bit.
Like I get it. You just beat Spence, but let's calm it down. Let's really think about this before we say something that we'll regret, right? So I
Yeah.
think this, because people are saying, like you said, Floyd is noticing it. Canelo ain't the same. I think Canelo will try to show that he's not necessarily the same, but he's more revised, he's more improved, and he'll do it in a spectacular fashion by knocking out Charlo.
Hmm.
That's my take. But let us know what you guys think in the comment section. Well, actually, this is on live.
Yeah, it's not
Never
live,
mind.
bro. You don't gotta say any of that, dude. Let us know what you think, guys. But yeah, then move on. That's it.
Yeah,
That's amazing. Look at
yeah.
that. Wasn't that amazing?
This is gonna be easy. All right.
Oh
So
yes.
unfortunately we didn't really do this, but I watched Zaylee Zhang versus Joe Joyce over the weekend.
Oh
Um,
no, I caught it.
fan-
I caught it too.
it was fantastic in my
I got
opinion.
it.
Right. So for those who don't know, Zaylee Zhang knocked out Joe Joyce,
Hmm.
the person who has been heralded by Frank Warren and most of that media outlets over there in the UK as Joe Joyce has this iron or granite chin that no one can penetrate, not even Deontay Wilder. Yeah, I remember this. I remember when that was happening. I was like, you know what? Joe Joyce could destroy Deontay Wilder. Now I'm like, yeah, you know what?
Mm,
I think Wilder would like put this man in a freaking stretcher, put him out and sleep him.
dude.
Cause, but my question to everyone and to you guys is, what do you think about this fight? Um, primarily, like, what are your opinions about it, and what's next for Zhang, and what's next for Joyce?
Well, first of all, let's talk about the actual fight. I'm glad that someone I was busy on Saturday, but someone uploaded the whole fight because it was so short on YouTube, and I caught it because Mark sent it to me, and I was like, oh yeah, shoot, great. But man, what was Joyce doing in there? Um. So okay, let's talk about the head movement. I think that's the big one, right? Like his head movement was it was minimal at best, right? It was like maybe a high slip to the left and right. And then okay, so if you are not if you do not want to do a lot of head movement, that's actually fine, right? It's fine if you understand distance and range management. What was Joyce do? I'm not sure if you can swear here, so I'm just gonna like censor myself a little bit. But like, what the hell was Joyce doing in there? He you can you if you're not gonna use head movement, you have to use backwards and forwards movement on the x-axis. Like you gotta get in and get out of range. That's how you play that game if you don't want to do head movement. Um, but he was just kind of staying in the pocket and then forward pressure and then just like eating everything with salt and pepper. It was like, he didn't even use a napkin, bro. He just kept going. Because if you guys watch the fight, remind you, right? This is round three, and you expect fighters by like round three in a pro fight to at least have a bit of stamina. Like even in the heavyweight division, round three, you gotta keep going, dude. You can't just have gassed out round one, round two. And for as hard as Joyce hits, we give him like we used to call not used to, but we still call him like the tractor. He's got that tractor speed where like it's slow, but you know what's coming and it hurts like dumb bad. But what is this like? What is it like a style thing from Zhang? Is it Joyce just not being? Is that how he always fought? Because dude, he just kept going with his face like forward, and then like Zhang would do the proper thing is maintain distance, pop, 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 and then land like a really good combo, and then get away. And then like none of those slow ass tractor hits are gonna hit anything, obviously, because it looked very like he just got into boxing. Like when you spar for the first time, you're gonna look like Joyce. Like you don't have a lot of head movement. You don't have a lot of backwards and forward movement. You stay in the pocket way too long. Those are mistakes that someone who's like sparred for the first time are gonna make. And he was making them in a pro fight, in a very important fight. And by God, I don't know, but like, okay, let's talk about Zhang. Zhang just looked great, man. Can we say that Zhang looks just great? He's like 40, but he looks great, dude. Um, he had really good combination game. His hands were fluid. The best way I can describe it in short is he was in the zone. He was popping, found the range, found the combo, got away. Found the range, found the combo, body shot, got away. It was good. And he just caught him with like the slickest straight hook, and can't complain, man. But that was the fight, and then and I just don't. I think for Joyce, um, he's just got to rethink his strategy for like everything, because I don't think he should be doing that against anybody. That was just bad. I think he just got to go back to the drawing board, and he's got to really rethink the way that he fights, because that was really bad. And then Zhang, dude, go hit up Tyson, bruh. He ain't coming out of his shell. You gotta get him out of his shell somehow. You gotta tell him, dude, I'm 40, and you're not gonna fight a 40-year-old, and then call him out of his shell so that he can actually fight for once, and give up the belt at least. Give it to Zhang. That would be amazing. That'd be a really good story. Like
This guy.
his reverence in China would go up. It's just pluses for this dude. So that's what I have, Mike. What did you think about the fight? And same questions. What do you think's next for Joyce? What do you think's next for Zhang?
Oh man. Terms of Zhang, man. Here's the thing. Joyce looked way older in that fight. No, his
Yeah.
move. I mean, Zhang is 40. Joyce is 38. Joe looked like he was 40, and Zhang looked like he was in his 30s. Like literally, literally, Zhang's plan was throwing accurate, hard punches. He did not overcommit. He kept at range. He knew that he was a superior boxer. Again, no slight to Joyce, right?
Mhm.
But Joyce, what he uses in terms of his defense is his face. He literally uses his face as his shield, as his freaking, and that's how he tires people out. Is he mentally exhausts people? Like you keep hitting him in the face and nothing's happening. It'll be mentally exhausting as well as physically exhausting, and by the later rounds, normally is where Joyce knocks you out. However, using that strategy in terms of the long run is absolutely asinine. Like you should never do that. That is like boxing 101. Hit and not get hit. Joyce did the complete opposite. And again, Zhang had a better game plan, and honestly, it just shows his discipline as well as his power and his technical ability. All right. He might be 40, but yet the one thing that Zhang used is his IQ, which, again, he is 6'6". He's a huge person. And with that in mind, he used it fairly well and he knocked out Joyce. So I'm very impressed in terms of that. For Zhang, what he should do is, I think, for him, he should move. He should move to fight Tyson Fury, or even move to fight, Alexander Usyk.
Oh.
However, the issue is Alexander Usyk does not want to fight anyone else outside of Tyson Fury. Like Usyk has stated that the only person he's interested in fighting is Tyson Fury. And
Mm.
unfortunately, Zhang won't have either of them because one, Tyson Fury is a duck. Let's just be honest. Tyson Fury ain't interested in fighting any boxers. Tyson Fury is only interested in facing people that he has a 100% chance of beating. So Zhang's only option is either Deontay Wilder or
Ooh.
Anthony Joshua.
Mm.
Those are the two options that I see Zhilei Zhang taking. More so, I believe he would face Anthony Joshua. Uh, but either or, I think it would be a great fight for Zhilei Zhang because
Mhm.
realistically, Usyk and Fury are out of the question. So that's how I see it. But for Joe Joyce, hmm, I think for Joe Joyce, it would be tough because he's 38 years old. These two back-to-back losses puts him at that weird limbo area where he is good enough to challenge for like the top 10 elite fighters, but he's also too good to be thrown at like upcoming prospects.
Yeah.
So what's next for him? Like that's the big question about Joe Joyce is even after this loss is like he should not face up and coming guys. He should still face some of the guys at the top 10. Uh there are people open for fights. You know, there's I think for him he should get a tune up first. Really hone in on the work. I think he is too old to learn head movement. I mean, he tried. Like, let's be honest, he did try to show some head movement, but he's just a little too slow.
Yeah, he was just so slow. I think if he could, right, like a really easy like band-aid fix is if he just goes little like a Russian Soviet style back and forth where the head movement, yeah, it's like high slips, but a lot of it is just getting out of range so that
Mm,
you don't have to rely on much on very vigorous head movement. It's just out of range in and out of range. It's actually really good. I like doing it in practice and in sparring. You can see and you can get out of range. That's what you want, right? So
uh-huh.
try that, Joyce. Go for a Soviet style, change up a little bit, in and out.
Yeah, I think again for Joe Joyce, he should face someone in the top 10. Um, maybe one day he might become a champion, but maybe have a rematch with Dubois because it seems like you could beat him again, or maybe face Andy Ruiz because Andy I think has no fights lined up.
Ooh.
All right, there's a name for Joe Joyce to take. But yeah, I again, I'm not saying that Joe Joyce isn't necessarily good. I mean, he just is a very big human being who, prior to this point, had a impregnable chin, but now this type of beating and this type of whooping can mentally change you.
Mm-hmm.
So I just hope that you know Joe Joyce can improve his boxing skills at the very least. Um, but for Zhilei Zhang, man, I think he could do it. I think he can, but that's me personally. But let us know what you guys think. So, the next topic or our last topic in terms of boxing again is Tyson Fury is a piece of shit, man. Let's just be honest.
All
So,
right, talk about it, bro.
um, this is interesting because again, Tyson Fury has stated live on air. Like this is not me making it up. You can look at it on every single big boxing um, YouTube channel. They've talked about this, which is Tyson Fury has blatantly stated that undisputed is not his main prerogative. His main
What?
prerogative is to make as much money as possible, and after, if he possibly could beat Francis Ngannou, he wants to go into an MMA fight and beat Francis Ngannou. And then
Oh.
following that, he wants to fight against John Jones and do that next. So there's never been a point that Tyson Fury has stated that this is that being undisputed and fighting against Alexander Usyk is his main thing. The only way that Tyson Fury, from his own mouth, that he would face, uh, Alexander Usyk is if Usyk takes a smaller cut of the pay,
What?
and if Usyk wants more money, then he's never gonna fight Usyk. In addition to that, right, Francis Ngannou went on the Joe Rogan podcast, right? One of, if not the biggest podcasts in the world. Um, he told Joe Rogan that he believes Tyson Fury is a cheater.
Really?
Yes, he believes that Tyson Fury tampers with gloves. Right?
Okay.
Tampers with gloves, and that his team will thoroughly check the gloves before facing Fury, because from according to him, check out the Joe Rogan podcast for this. According to him, Tyson Fury likes to remove some of the padding from his gloves.
Oh, wow.
That's what
Mm.
Ngannou is insinuating in his interview with Joe. So there's a bunch of things about Tyson Fury that's been floating around.
Mhm.
Let me toss it to you first. What do you think about it? Is Tyson Fury a piece of shit? Or is Fury just a very smart, savvy businessman?
Well, let's start with one thing at a time. Let's get first and foremost, Ngannou's statement I would regard more as of like gossipy smoke. Let's just put that aside for now, right? We don't actually know. There's no evidence. You can say all you want. There's no evidence. However, there is evidence for the next thing. Dog, like what can you imagine, right? The one time, right? You like you say that like you're the best in the world. You're the top of the food chain, right? You and then all of a sudden the one time where a challenge is given, you run away and you say it's not going to make enough money. I'm going to move the goalpost. I'm going to keep moving it until it fits me, and that even if I lose, I will win. That's Tyson Fury's mindset, right? Because yes, he will make a lot of money from the Ngannou fight. There's no question about that. Ngannou will make a lot of money. He will make more money than in his entire UFC fight in that one fight. That is the beauty, or like the ugliness, I guess you can say, of boxing. Like boxing is a one and done thing. Um, but it's like with boxing, you get to do things like this where you get to run away so much because there's not really a it's not really like a mandatory thing with Alexander Usyk. So you can run away however much you like, and it just really shows a person, right? Like so if Tyson Fury, let's say he at the first sign of between him and Alexander Usyk, they got it done, and he he lost the belt, and then he took this Ngannou thing, right? Nobody would have said anything. Nobody would have batted an eye. No one would have said jack shit, right? This is like people would have still had respect for him. Yeah, he lost, but he still took the challenge. He would have still had that going for him. Yeah, he took the challenge, of course, because Alexander Usyk is really hard, and Tyson Fury has a really hard time against that style, and the height weight and the height differential, and he's just Alexander Usyk is just really good. So we wouldn't have all of this, but now that we do, it's just really telling of a person, and it kind of gives this gossip here. It gives it fuel, even though there's no evidence, right? Because it's like, oh yeah, if you do this, then if A then B, excuse me. But it's like, you didn't have to get there in the first place. This would have already been done if you just accepted the fight in the first place. But now we're just here. We're just here now. And so Yeah, of course. I think Tyson Fury is kind of an asshole for that. Um, if 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 he didn't want to fight Usyk, he should have just vacated the belt, and we still wouldn't have this argument. But he didn't. He likes to keep it because he thinks that his record is more important than anything else. So like when he says that, oh, he's the best in the world in boxing, it doesn't have a lot of weight anymore. That's the unfortunate thing. So because I used to have a lot of respect for Tyson Fury. I thought his style was really hard to fight against. I still think that, but like when you match it against a person and it doesn't match, man, it's really hard to root for you. So yeah, that's what I think. What do you think, Mark?
Ah, dude, he's worse than a piece of shit. He's uh he's a pussy. Um, I'll just be honest. I think Fury. I've known. I've always thought of Fury as a person that you could rely on the moment it
Ouch.
happens,
Ouch.
right? However, I would never believe what he says until the moment I see it happen. Is when I'm like, you know what? I can rely on that.
Hmm.
So Tyson Fury is a walking, talking contradiction. He'll say one thing one day, but it'll be completely different in another day. He's like, I don't want to fight for money. Money doesn't make me happy. And now it's like, I will only fight for money. I need money. Money, 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 money. All right, there,
Should have been
Mr. Crab.
dusted, bro. I don't know, something
Yeah. But in terms of that, right, it's just indicative of what kind of person he really is. Um, he calls AJ a businessman and that AJ's garbage and this and that. But now here he is doing the same thing that he criticized Anthony Joshua for, which is fighting for money. He's like, I'm a Spartan, this, that, and the third. I don't fight for money. And now here he is saying the complete opposite. And then the crazy thing is, right, his fans, right? I could care less about Tyson Fury, right? It's his fans that justify his actions, which is worse, which is way worse, because they will come to our comment section. They'll come to another channel's comment section, and they will speak the most heinous and vile shit to you, right? They're like, who gives a rat's ass? Like, I'm gonna come over there and I'm gonna kill you. I'm like, bet, do that, right? But Fury just irritates, and this is what's wrong with boxing. It's like people like Fury, right? A person like that who, could make generational wealth, make more money, and secure his legacy by facing Alexander Usyk, would rather face an opponent like Francis Ngannou, who's never been in a boxing ring. Like, as powerful as Ngannou is, and even though Fury's like, oh, dude, Ngannou is a harder challenge than any of these other boxers.
Bruh.
It's ridiculous. To me, it's crazy. In addition for him to say he wants to face John Jones next, when last last month or a few months ago, he was like, I'll never face John Jones. I don't want to get my arm broken.
Bruh.
Really? Oh, I this is why I'm hoping and I'm praying to whatever God is out there that Francis Ngannou will just lay out this clown. And the moment he does, Francis Ngannou should just dip and run and never give Tyson Fury a rematch. Never ever. Hell no. Fuck that.
I agree.
Right?
I totally agree.
I think that is as as best of a situation I could see coming out of this. Because if Tyson Fury wins, guess what he's gonna do? He will avoid Alexander Usyk until Usyk is the same age as Zaylee Zhang, and then he'll be like, you know what? Maybe we can fight now.
Oh, bruh.
But again, Tyson Fury is a piece of shit, but however, it is what it is. His fans are way worse than him. So let's get into the next one, which is the MMA section. Again, Izzy Adesanya is not just only a mid fighter, but he's also a criminal.
Ouch.
I'm just joking. Uh, so Israel Adesanya, according to the Bleacher Report, as well as most of these MMA outlets, has been charged recently of drinking and driving in New Zealand. So Adesanya was over the legal limit for alcohol consumption while driving in New Zealand, and he will be sentenced for his sentencing will be scheduled for January 10th, 2024. My thing to you, Isaiah, is what do you think about this?
I I think I'm gonna coin something now, right? This is called the Sean Strickland magic, right? This is our
Oh,
dream,
jeez.
the Sean Strickland magic, right? So like we all didn't think that Sean Strickland was gonna win, but he did, right? So we changed universes somehow, and then if Charlo wins and Ngannou wins, I'm gonna coin that term right there, the Sean Strickland magic. God. It was real in
If
2023.
Kobe Covington actually beats Leon Edwards, Sean Strickland
Sean
match.
Strickland magic. Okay, here you heard it here first, guys. M&I's podcast, Sean Strickland magic. Okay, with that in mind, I think it's just a really unfortunate turn of events for Izzy, right? Because this happened days, like almost a month before the actual fight, and
Yeah.
if Izzy won, as like everybody expected to, then this thing would kind of blow over. You know, he still won anyway, yada yada. But he lost now. Now this has double the weight, right? Now we're like, oh, did he not look the same because of that? No, 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 no. He got beat out fair and square. It went all 5 rounds. There was not a single point in that fight where he was like, I got lucky. No, 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 no. That was calculated. But this just makes it hurt more, even more for Izzy. Now we can he lost and he has a lawsuit to go off of, and now we have to compare the two, dude. That's just not a good look for you. So I just think it's just a bunch of unfortunate events. Sean Strickland magic. I hope the thing happens. So like if Charlo wins and Ngannou wins, and Kobe Covington wins this upcoming year, right? In this year, we will see. We will see.
I I think again, this has nothing to do to Izzy's poor performance. Poor performance against Sean Strickland.
Okay.
I it is what it is. I think Izzy just made a stupid decision of driving drunk, right?
Yeah.
In which he did, I think, post and state that he's sorry for it and he shouldn't have done it. Uh, However, my opinion about the whole situation about Izzy and Sean Strickland is, I'll just be honest. I think Israel Adesanya just needs a break
Yeah.
to
That's very true.
face top level contender after contender after contender for multiple years, not just 1 year, but for multiple years, and to beat them in such a way that is so boring that people leave. Right?
Yes.
That's no slouch. That's no slouch, right? There's no slouch on Izzy. It's just mentally and physically draining. And I think we kind of saw it because it kind of looked off during the
Yeah.
fight against Sean. That's why I'm imploring and trying to reason with some of these people that Izzy should not get a immediate rematch. I think he should work in the trenches for 1 or 2 fights before he gets a
Yeah.
rematch with Sean.
I
Right?
think that like it's hard for people who don't train to understand like what it's like to be in a fight camp. uh it's imagine like going to like any regular training, but you have like a heightened, not only is it heightened training, so you're just more tired, but you have like the fight on the mind, and he's done that in accolades. He's done that back to back to back to back to back. So no one can even us, we can't fault him for that. That's a really, really rigorous track record for the year. He needs a break. That dude needs a break.
Hey, look at this. So he fought Anderson Silva uh, in 2019. Then
Yep.
he faced Kevin Gastelum to win the belt in
Yep.
2019. Then Robert Whitaker, Yoel Romero, Paulo Costa, Jan Blachowicz, Vittori, Robert Whitaker again, then Jared Cannonier. Then he lost to Alex Pereira. Hashtag 3-1.
Three.
Then Alex Pereira again, and then Sean Strickland. He has fought
Wow.
top level contender after top level contender multiple years, not just once, but multiple years. And again, imploring you that is a drain on just your mental psyche, my friend. So I don't think this drinking and driving thing had affected his performance against Sean Strickland. I think what really affected his performance is all of this preparation, the mental drain, and as well as the physical drain of getting to weight, then preparing for an opponent that is going out there to knock you out.
Yep.
Right. So all of that being said, I think that really put probably a strain on Izzy. And it's not just the drinking and driving. I think that strain caused him to drink and drive as well. So
Mhm.
some of these things that, if we're under high stress, we will seek other forms of coping, and maybe that this was one of those things that he thought was a good idea at the time and got caught.
Yeah.
But let us know what you guys think. And then the last topic we're going to talk about is Isaiah's boy here, his little boo thing.
Still my boy. He's still
Tony
my boy.
Ferguson, bro. Oh, it's actually close. Damn. All right, I'll let you take this one.
All right, so this one was just like an announcement that just came out not too long ago from Dana White about the matchup between Tony Ferguson and Paddy Pimblett. And my God, like if you look at like Mark said it earlier, just not too long ago. The odds are pretty close, right? It's not bad, and um, it's because everybody wants Tony Ferguson to get at least one dub in his book, please, right? Because okay, like if you look at the streaks on these, Paddy Pimblett is hasn't lost yet, right? He's like 6+. Tony Ferguson hasn't won yet, and it's like 6+, and it's been a while. But based off of like the way Paddy presents himself, followed by how he did it in his last fight, which they thought his opponent was robbed, and just that all combined together, we just like everybody thinks that Paddy Pimblett is a hype train that has gone on too long. And if Tony Ferguson was to pull off some Sean Strickland magic, dog, and just ice Paddy Pimblett or put him in some sort of unfamiliar chokehold that he hasn't seen yet, because I know Paddy Pimblett ain't a black belt in jiu-jitsu, dude. I think that Tony Ferguson can pull it off realistically. However, there is a big however. Tony Ferguson is not all mentally there, guys. As a Tony Ferguson fan, Tony Ferguson is not all mentally there. He hasn't been for a while. If you look at him from like when he was supposed to fight, could be the fourth time or whatever, right? That thing fell apart. And the first time he bet Gaethje, everything from Gaethje up until now, he has not looked the same ever since. And his real wild striking and his wild style has not been working for him for the last 6 fights. So, and he's lost on everything that you could think of, everything, ground. He's gone to sleep already. The last fight, he went to sleep already. He's been technically knocked out. He's been knocked out. Everything that you can think of, he's already done. and lost. So realistically, I think Tony Ferguson is gonna have a hard time against Paddy Pimblett. But for the sake of this argument, I think Tony Ferguson is gonna win. I want Tony Ferguson to win so bad, so bad. I will root for him to win. I think he's going to win. I believe that he has that boogeyman, that little boogeyman that went to sleep for 6 years, or like sorry, not 6 years, 6 fights. That went to sleep for 6 fights. I want the Baba Yaga to come out this one time, and then he can retire. We'll all be happy. That was an amazing, amazing journey of getting beat up and beating the one person that we wanted to see beat. That's the story. So, Mark, what do you think about this?
Paddy Pimblett is a first degree black Brazilian jiu-jitsu black
Damn
belt.
it! I'm just wrong.
I
I'm
don't
sorry.
know how accurate this is, but this is what it says on his Wikipedia page.
Okay, no, that's probably accurate.
It is what it is.
Yeah,
But
whatever.
in terms of that, odds, like as much as I give Isaiah grief on like Tony Ferguson, I despise Paddy Pimblett more than Tony. And I understand where Isaiah is coming from. And you know what? I fully support that move. That Tony ought to fucking put this hype train in its place. Because I'll be honest, Paddy ain't a baddie. Paddy will never be like Connor. Paddy is not even close to that. Right? They're trying to build him up because he talks shit and he looks like a fucking dweeb. Let's just be honest. The bowl haircut ain't it.
The Farquad haircut, dog. No, don't diss the Farquad haircut, dog.
No, not only
He's a
that, but
Stouser. They don't get knocked out.
yes, they do. Fucking yes, they do.
I'm talking about Darren Till, yeah, okay, whatever.
Yes, he is a scouser. Yes, he got knocked out multiple times. But in terms of this, in terms of Paddy Pimblett, even though I dislike him, let's look at this objectively. Tony don't got it no more.
Nope.
His most recent loss, right, should be indicative of what I'm saying. The way he looked like against what's his name, Bobby Green.
Bobby Green.
It just looked horrendous, man. Tony looked old. Like it was even like funny how old he looked. Like even us who aren't trained fighters could see his punches coming. Come on. Like there was no switch up. In addition to that, he lost on the ground.
Oh,
Mr. fucking 10th planet
10th planet,
jiu-jitsu here.
Oh, works
Lost
from the
on
bottom.
the ground.
Oh.
Right?
Damn
so
it, dude.
I just like as much as I don't like Paddy, right? He is younger, he is more explosive in terms of his striking, he is faster. And again, I think in terms of the ground game, we're starting to see this 10th planet whether or not I'm not saying that Tony didn't earn that black belt, but he ain't showing it. There have been times I'm like, how did you get into that? Especially the Nate Diaz fight. Let's put it out,
dude.
There. Right?
Oh,
what is going on? Right? If you're saying Tony's Tony, then I'm like, all right. Please explain to me how Tony Ferguson could possibly beat Paddy Pimblett. I just don't see it.
I don't know, man. I just want him to, dude. You know, like okay, so I just want Tony to like throw like some kind of wild trap, right? Like a dropped jab or something, and then just immediately come up with the uppercut. Because he did do that, and it did land against Justin Gaethje. So if he's able to do something like that, and he didn't look too bad in the first half against Bobby Green, I just have this belief that's not gonna have any scientific basis behind it or any form of mathematical sense of logic. But I just want the stars to align. Because I mean look at Sean Strickland, okay? That just gave me hope. It gave me hope that something like the odds were completely against their favor and they won, and it can happen. There's a chance. There's a small chance that
No,
Tony
granted.
Ferguson just comes out. All right, the boogeyman. Do you remember the boogeyman? Do you
Yeah,
remember
El
what he looked like
Chuchuy.
prior?
Yes,
He was
yes.
amazing, but something happened. I don't know what it was.
It's
I
called
know it
that
was. It's called brain
Justin
damage. But I
Gates.
mean,
No,
I,
it's called that Justin Gaethje left hook really fucked him up.
I
I think.
know, I
I
know.
think
Okay,
the moment, the moment Tony is a type of person where he doesn't feel pain,
nope,
right? According
nope.
to some of his opponents. But the moment he realized that he actually is feeling pain now, that's when the invincibility left,
Yeah, I know,
right?
I know, I know, I know.
So with that in mind, I like, as much as I want Tony to win, let's all just be realistic about this. Tony's not going to win. As bad as it's going to be. However, I am hoping this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Walk with me on this. Maybe it might happen. I hope it does. Patty Pimblett likes to talk a lot of shit, right?
Okay.
Let's say, for example, Patty just like talks massive shit against Tony. Tony gets that fire back inside of him. He's like, who the fuck is this young guy trying to talk shit to me? I'm an all-American pro wrestler. I'm a black belt in 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu. I'm this, that, and the third. Who the hell does this person think he is to tell me I'm a has-been and I'm washed? Tony trains hard as fuck, and he just turns the hands of time back
The
and just
legend.
annihilates Patty
The
Pimble.
legend.
Because this is just going to be a 3-round fight.
Yeah.
Now, I
Please.
really don't want to see Tony leave, the UFC to Mr. Bowl haircut himself.
Exactly. I know he's an up and comer, but please give us this story. You know how cool that story would be? Like, even if Patty loses, no one would give it an ass rip, dude. But if Tony won, the stars would have aligned for at least once, giving him a poor soul a
It'd be
good ending.
okay. I would be very, very concerned if Tony doesn't retire if he loses against Patty Pimblett.
We should have been concerned after Bobby Green, I think.
Yes, that
So
I would have been concerned after some of the other ones too. After he lost to Nate Diaz the way he did,
oh
I would have
yeah.
been like, all right, let's call it a day here. One, I got caught in a very easy guillotine that I could have like avoided that happening. I don't know why he did that. Not only he was clearly, if he just kept on kicking Nate Diaz's legs, he would have won. But hey man, that bag must have been pretty big that Dana threw at him.
I guess. I don't
So,
know, man.
but the
I
thing
don't
is,
know.
Tony, if Tony doesn't retire, if he loses against Patty Pimblett, that means the UFC is just going to use Tony as a punching bag for every up and coming guy. I don't want to see that. I
No.
really don't. I honestly don't think any amount of money that the UFC is going to throw at Tony should be sent to that. I think in terms of his long-term health, as a fan and as like a decent human being, I would be like, yo, Tony, stop, quit, please. Because
I think Dana should just let him go. I think. I feel
yes,
if he loses this fight, I mean it's you have to. There's one thing about like firing someone for their performance is more about firing someone because of their safety.
well,
So
it's not just that, but like if Dana lets him go in such like a horrible way, right? He loses to this guy. Tony, knowing Tony, he's probably gonna go and sign with another MMA promotion
Oh, I thought you were gonna say
where
something else, but I'm not sure if that's appropriate for YouTube. Okay.
they don't care about Tony's health type of thing.
Mm.
I think if you give Tony the type of send off that would suffice his ego, then he'd probably stay or probably stay retired.
Please retire. Please.
He's starting to sound kind of funny with his speech.
Please.
So, but I think that is the end of our show. Again, thank you guys for listening to the M&I's podcast. Let us know what you guys think. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like, comment, and subscribe. Again, we're messing around with stuff like this. We might do this again. Maybe this might be an easier way for us to have a show and have a community and build a community. Is if you guys come in here, we have discussions. We'll probably post and make sure everyone is well aware of our podcast coming up. So there are more people than just one person in our stream right now.
Oh yeah. No, I think I'm really liking this format. This is really good. I think we're gonna start doing this. Probably gonna start doing this more than likely.
Yeah, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna probably, change it up. Maybe really tinker with this type of formatting so we could really provide a better show. So where we can actually show things, show our faces,
Oh
do the
yeah.
whole thing, and we could actually interact with every one of you when you actually comment, right?
Give us some time and some moolah, all right? Because like get
Some
some time
moolah.
and moolah, and then we'll get better cameras. Because our webcams right now, you ain't gonna like us. Trust me. First
I don't
impressions
have
are
a
everything.
webcam.
Okay, good. I mean, like don't look at mine either. I'm not saying we're ugly looking, but I'm just saying like our camera quality. We're gonna be looking at you from like a DS camera, bro. Just wait until we get moolah and then time, and then you will see our faces when the time is right. So thank you guys.
All right, guys. Again,
Peace.
peace out.
Shoots.